Good evening, everyone. I am Miss Thornton. Today I'll be teaching a 4th grade class, and my focus lesson will be on morphemes, but specifically I'll be teaching about prefixes, roots, and suffixes. So to begin with, I have a learning outcome or an I can statement for my students, and it reads, I can identify prefixes, roots, and suffixes. So what is a prefix? A prefix is a syllable or words or a group of words placed at the beginning of the root. What is a root? A root is the base of the word that can stand alone and it doesn't contain a prefix or a suffix. What is a suffix? A suffix is added to the end of the word and it may change the tense of the entire word and it also may change the meaning of the word. So here I have a list of common prefixes. We have the prefix pre, which means before, such as in preheat, or prefix, or prepare. And we have dis, means not, or the opposite of, like disconnect. We have mis, means wrongly, like as in mistake. We have un, as in not, as in untouched or untouchable. See how we added a suffix at the end of that word. We have re, which means again, as in recook or reread. So here I have some common suffixes. We have ing, such as cooking or reading. We have ed, which is like the past tense, such as hopped, jumped, skipped. We have s, which makes it plural, such as cakes, apples. We have ate on the end of the word, such as passionate. We have er, which makes it like a person, such as cooker. And we have eyes, such as realize, and on, such as reaction. So here are a list of common suffixes and prefixes. So we're about to do a little activity. So right now I'm going to write a word on our whiteboard. And the first word I'm going to write is intended. So my word is intended. So when we hear the word intended, we're going to see what is the prefix, what is the root, and what is the suffix. So let's remember, the prefix comes before the root. It is in the front, such as pre. You hear that pre, it comes before. And the suffix is at the end, and the root could be at the middle. But guess what? There may be some words that doesn't have a suffix on the end. So we're about to do this activity, and our first word is intended. So when we hear the word intended, let's think about how many syllables this word have. Intended, 3 syllables. So when we did that, we did in. So guess what? I can put a dash here. We did tend, intend, it. 3 syllable word, intended. So when we break this word by syllables, let's look and see, okay, what is the prefix of this word? What is the roots of this word? And what is the suffix of this word? So remember, the prefix comes before the root and the suffix comes at the end. By looking at our word intended, our root word would be tend. This will be our root word. So I'm going to put root. That will be our root. So for our prefix, since we know that our prefix comes before the root, we will circle. Well, first, let me ask you all. If tend is our root and the prefix comes before the root, what do you all think the prefix is? Great job. The prefix is the word in, so we're going to circle our prefix in blue. Our prefix is in. So now, since we have our root, our prefix, let's do our suffix. So where does the suffix come again? Great, after the roots. So we're going to use a red marker, and we're going to put a box around our suffix. So this is a pretty easy activity. We have intended. We have our prefix in, roots 10. 10 is our root, and our suffix ed, which makes this whole word past tense. We have another example. This time we have the word suggesting. So when we hear the word suggesting, let's break it into syllables. Suggesting. So we're going to break it into syllables. Suggesting. So based on this word, first let's identify our root. Well, we know that the root often falls in the middle, and the prefix comes before the root, and the suffix comes after the root. So based on our word, we can suggest that just would be our root. Now, since we have our roots, can someone tell me what would be our prefix? Great. We're going to circle such. I have my prefix circled, so now let's do the suffix. We have suffix ing. We have our prefix root, and we have our suffix. So I hope you all enjoyed this activity.